This is no ordinary haul, this is a mega haul, says a famous advert, but it is a mega haul today. I've got fine vintage linens, hand embroidered crochet. I've got fine china, Spode, Shelley, Coalport, Wedgwood, Royal Dalton, to name but a few. I've got pewter that was sold through Liberties. I've got silver plate that was sold at Knickerbocker in New York. We've really got some fantastic finds to run through today, and I will be telling you what I paid for them, how much they can sell for if we choose to resell them, and what we're going to do with them. So without further ado, you're not here to see me chatting, let's get into this haul. And it's Tudrick pewter and hand hammered. Now wait till I tell you how much the lace cost. I've already sold 6 bowls, 6 little cereal bowls for £90. Look how big it is. I paid £5 for that. £5. Absolute bargain. And just like that, I had a little mooch round, so I've moved a few bits round so I can talk more in depth about the other things. I was talking about American silver plate. This is a napkin holder, and you'd put your napkin in there and it'd raise it off the table. Made you look a bit more posh, I would guess. Again, Art Deco. Bought this from the posh car boot I went to, which I think was really more an antique and collector's market. But I was told, and I found out this actually the other day, that a stallholder reached out to me and said that the reason there wasn't that many car booters were there is that they now had to have a trading insurance licence to sell there, which I just think is crazy. Surely that would come under the general insurance of the venue, but that kept a lot of booters away, so that was quite sad really. But we'll still go again. And as I say, I think me and my husband are probably going to have a pitch there. I think I could easily have a pitch there. And you could tell, you know, I could sell it. I could undersell all of them, I reckon, for the prices I've paid for this. But anyway, this is Royal Grafton. How pretty is that? Nice little unlidded sugar bowl. I thought it was a oriental tea bowl because of these little sides. I thought that was really pretty. And I bought that just for that. But yeah, got half a tea set. This I think is lovely. This is by James Kent, which is old folieware. Look how pretty that is. Nice little sandwich platter. And it is really, I hope you're getting the colour of it. It is really, really pretty with a bird of paradise there. I don't often buy electrics, but I couldn't resist this. Look at this. This is a brass and alabaster, or I think it's maybe marble even, a lamp in the Rococo style nevertheless. And it works! How gorgeous is that? Look how big it is. I paid £5 for that. £5. Absolute bargain. That's why I bought that bit of electric stuff. But I don't usually. But I thought for £5, that was really nice. I'm keeping that. See, this is what I'd make a rubbish reseller full time, because I keep too much. Talking about keeping too much, look at these. I bought these again at the, because they're push up, aren't they? Again at Posh Car Boot. If you saw that video, I thought these were really lovely. I thought these were reminiscent of something you'd find at the Ritz with the palm trees and everything. Very Art Deco, and I thought they were really nice. And yeah, I'm still debating whether I want to sell them or not, because obviously I've got the pair. The other one's just in the front there. Talking about history, this is another muffin or breakfast lidded bowl with cloche. Look at that. This is by, I think it's Spode. Yeah, Spode. Again, it's got the letter on there of the house that had it. That was obviously to stop thieves or track it down if it was stolen. But look at that. That has got historic clips in it, where it's obviously the handle's broken and it's been fixed. And I'll put some close up on that. I think, even though, yes, it's broken and it's damaged, but I think that adds a real historic feel to it, and I think in itself in a beautiful item with that, I think that actually adds value to it, doesn't take it away, because that's when we didn't or is it make do and mend, and they really lived by that. And I wish we'd do that more, because that is some very, very good, I don't know whether they soldered it or clipped it round, very clever, and they didn't break it further. They knew what they were doing. Look at the size of that. Absolutely gorgeous. but cost about £1.50. This one's intact, but again it's highly collectible, and that's on for quite a bit of money. Really, really pretty, lovely colours, and just a lovely, you can imagine that on a nice big grand table. This one is not so exciting, but I thought it was very pretty. Again, it's like the old cottage ware, and this one's by Hampton Ivory Ware. But yeah, not as flashy or anything if you see the two together. But I thought they bring something to the table. Oh, gosh. That wasn't damaged, perhaps it is now. But yeah, I think they're lovely items. I'm carrying quite a few, so I'm probably not going to buy too many more. I'm carrying quite a few muffin dishes as well. But I think they're lovely. You can imagine, perhaps in the old Warden or Victorian, a really nice, highly polished table with all these beautiful things on it. That's why I couldn't see it, what I was reading. Got another bowl here. I paid, I think, £1 for this, and yeah, it's just a bog standard transfer, not particularly exciting, but the size is, and she'll go for about £15, a bread and butter sale. I've got other bits and pieces. I've got some nice, beautiful vase. I think this is really gorgeous, and this is Royal Norfolk. I just really love the colour. I thought it was very pretty. Got this little German bisque figure from Prara. But yeah, beautiful little German bisque figure. She's a little girl, and she is very cross, and she's saying no, 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 no. And I just thought that was lovely. Got the markings on the base there. She's all intact, no breakages, even got a little finger pointing up. But I thought she was lovely, and paid 50p for it. You know how we do. I was talking about American silver plate. This is a napkin holder, and this is the pheasant one, and it's from a company in New York called Knickerbocker, of all things. But yeah, I paid £1.50 for this, and they're selling for around about £35, maybe a little bit more. Got all the markings on the underneath, and again, perfect condition. So yeah, can do really well with her. How did she end up here? That's what I want to know, but that's what excites me about this sort of thing. Now, I am a big fan of the trio, as you know. I think it's an affordable way to get some nice pieces of fine bone china in your house. And, you know, who doesn't like a cup of tea? You know, I personally don't like sort of PG tips. I like my lemon and ginger. But yeah, to sit and drink it out of a nice little fine bone china vintage, I think that's a lovely thing. And as I say, it's a much more affordable way than buying a whole dinner set or tea set. So yeah, I bought these plates. These are Art Deco. I think they're absolutely lovely. They're by Royal Albert, really beautiful blossom trees. I thought they were really pretty. Paid £1 for the two. And yeah, I'll put them on. Some people are looking for replacements. It's not as if you can go to Tesco's or Asda or Alders or Harrods even to buy these. Well, in fact, Harrods actually have a vintage and antique section. Not sure if they still do, but they used to. And it's on the very top floor. Worth a look. Some absolute beautiful furniture if you're into that. Talking about trios, this is a very, very rare trio. This is by Royal Crown Derby, Staffordshire, England, and look at that. No, Staffordshire, England. Yeah, that's it. All gilded, lovely, ditzy little flowers. Look at that. How pretty is that? And that's a little trio, and she'll go on for about £25, and you get a bit of history. And how pretty is that? Even looks really pretty just like that on a Welsh cabinet or something. So yeah, I do carry a lot of trios, and I pick them up as whole tea sets. There's another trio here, and this is a cottage one. Paid £1 per set for these, and these are nice little cottage wear. I think this is Royal Standard. Yep, Royal Standard. Nothing special, but I think again that's very pretty, and she'll probably go between £10 and £15. Oh, got the little Britvic cups. These original, I paid, I think, £3 for 6, so 50p each. This one's the pineapple one. They're the old Britvic glasses. How cute are they? A lot of these I haven't got listed yet. I'm working my way through. From the yard sale in that beautiful village, got this solid brass mouse paperweight. I cannot tell you how heavy he is. Absolutely gorgeous. Nicked a bit of cheese and sold the cat already to a lovely subscriber. So thank you for that. Please enjoy your cat. I'm surrounded by all this beautiful linen. Look, it's raining linen everywhere. And I've got loads more. I bought a whole massive banana box of this linen for, wait for it, £10. Look at that. That's an old, I think it's crochet collar. How pretty is that? This is like a faux Meissen, but it's Germany. I think they made sort of, not fake ones, but like, what's it when you get makeup? That's not the real makeup, but it is the real makeup. I'll put it in the Ethra. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Ditzy little flowers, swags of gold and gilt. Yeah, lovely little petit four stand or little cake stand. Absolutely beautiful. I think I paid a couple of quid for that. Oh, I don't usually buy, I think it's called Tobacco Mania, but these were Baby Sham place cards, like beer based cards that you stick your drink on. Never remember it. But yeah, these are Baby Sham and they're highly collectible. It's even got a very rare Christmas one in there, and they're from the 1960s, and I'm going to put them on. They're only a couple of quid, so I thought, well, they're easy to post. They're already bubble wrapped. In actual fact, a viewer asked me about how we send stuff. Well, basically, we send it in a clear display envelope if we can, and then we then cover it with bubble wrap to safely secure it, and then we wrap it in a lot of paper, and then it goes boxed. Pretty much everything we send boxed, even those cards will be sent boxed, and we send it 24-hour tracked because you want to get them there as soon as possible so they can't be kicked around the post office too long. Anyway, sorry, post office. Anyway, what else have we got? Well, I'd never heard of mailing lusterware. This is mailing lusterware, and I hope you can see that. Look at the shine and the gloss on that. Absolutely beautiful. Picked that up. Best part of £1.50. I bought £35 worth of stuff from the Torksy car boot, which you may be watching today because I'm filming today and that video has gone out today, and paid £35 for about 30 pieces. So that owes me about £1.50, but that's very, very rare, and she's on for about £50. This is exceptionally rare. This is Blanche de Sheen. Blanche de Shine? Blanche de Sheen? A Blanche anyway. But this is the pink and blue, and it's Copeland Spode, sorry, Spode Copeland. Very early piece, absolutely stunning. Rarely have the flower on top still. She's on for about £100, and as I said to you already, she only owes me about £1.50. I call that a bobby bargain, and I think that is absolutely beautiful. And she was just in a box, chucked in a box. Talking about things chucked in a box, if you saw, I went to an auction and I got these beautiful, and if you see them, I will stretch the screen across the table. If you saw these are beautiful little liqueur glasses, German, sometimes the bigger ones are the hot glasses. How pretty are they? All different colours. I think they're called... can't remember, but I'll put it again in the Ethra. But I paid £25 for these plus fees, and sometimes they're going for about £175 for something that diddy. I mean, I like my liquor, you know, that's like a little shot glass, but I think these are pretty. I'm actually keeping these. Now, sometimes you think, oh, wow, this is going to be worth a fortune. I bought a pair of these. These are Art Nouveau Royal Doulton. Absolutely beautiful. Look at the glaze on there. Absolutely gorgeous they are. A pair of vases, or we could use them as a candlestick, I suppose. Bought them as a pair. Paid £55 plus fees for those. I thought they would be worth a lot of money. There's something in there. Sorry. Anyway, I thought they'd be worth a lot of money. They're about what I paid for them. These used to be worth a lot more, and it just shows everything that goes around comes around. I may sit on them, I may just get my money back and pour it into something I can make money on. But I was really surprised at that, because it's not always the things you think are going to make money make the money. Which brings me to my white cabbage country wear. Look at that. It's called Coalport Wedgwood. Coalport originally brought it out, and then Wedgwood took over the pattern and the design, and so it's called Coalport Wedgwood country wear, or otherwise known as white cabbage as opposed to the green cabbage. And yeah, that's a mixed vegetable dish or reddish dish or something. Some people are asking £95 for this piece, just this piece. I've already sold 6 bowls, 6 little cereal bowls for £90 plus plus postage. 6 bowls. I bought 200 pieces it came to about £350 including fees. 6 bowls for £90. I'm going to get my money well back. I haven't even got it all listed yet. But yeah, so something that is Art Nouveau and Royal Doulton is worth less than one little bowl or plate. To me, it doesn't make any sense, but that is the nature of the beast, and you live and you learn. I knew this was worth money though, because anything sort of cabbagey, a lot of people collect, and I think this would look nice personally with the green cabbage, sort of mix it in, although some people like the simplicity of just all the pure white china. But this one particular one's Coalport, but it's Coalport or Wedgwood, but it's all the same, exact same pattern. Some of the bowls though are a bit different, so you have to make sure you got like a Coalport, like a cup and saucer, a Coalport cup on a Coalport saucer, because if you try and put the Coalport cup on a Wedgwood saucer, even though they're identical, they don't quite fit, so they must have changed something about it. I keep debating going back and saying to the lady, would you sell me some of the things you were selling in the yard sale? But I don't know whether that would be a bit intrusive. Did really well. Haven't got the soda siphon here. I'm doing this in 2 parts because there was so much, and it's such a hot day as well that I didn't want to bring it all out. But what did I get? Oh, I bought these pictures. I thought these were absolutely... Oh, they're upside down. I thought these were absolutely beautiful. I didn't know, and I paid £5 for all 3 of these. I didn't know. I thought, well, they didn't paint very well in those days, but farmers who owned farms like to big up, like a fisherman and his fish, like to big up the size of their cattle, so they'd make them big and strong and hardy. Still don't quite know why they made them sort of all a bit oblong. But perhaps someone will be able to tell me. I don't know. But I just thought that was quite interesting. I got some Papa de Monte. I paid 50p for this. This is an ashtray. But look, it's little cherubs. Little cherubs sell very well. And it's genuinely Cape de Monte. And yeah, I'll put that on. Won't make mega bucks on that. But some pies are bread and butter pies. Some pies like the mailing or this. This is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. It is by Crew. Yeah, by Crew. Very, very expensive. And it's got, obviously, the previous house owner had etched on there their number. So if it was nicked, someone would be able to tell. How cool is that? Very collectible, very rare. I think someone's got 2 egg cups in this on for £35 plus VAT. I can't find another sold one. These are known as either butter dishes or muffin dishes that you'd have for your breakfast or something. And I thought that was really, really beautiful. And as I say, I bought that in the 35 bundle for 30 items, so it owes me £1.50. Absolute bar. Now, I've got some things as well from the yard sale I went to. How beautiful was that yard sale? I keep talking of this, I'm not going to move it. It is right. This is Minton. Absolutely beautiful Minton serving bowl. Look at the colours on that. But what I think is really beautiful, it's got a footed gilt base and it's on like a pink ground. Absolutely beautiful. Again, very rare, and that's on for just under £100. As you know, only owes me. Oh, this one I bought from somewhere else. This owes me £4. So these are absolute bargains. This is why these places are still worth going. Steve and I went to a car boot the other day. Wow, how bad was it? And I never like to say that about any car boot, but it was really a market. Now, I don't have a problem with market. I love going to a market, but if I wanted to go to a market, I'd go to a market. I wouldn't go to a car boot. Luckily, one stall had some nice little bits, and I bought some Art Deco plates that I'll show somewhere on the table. And I bought this nice little Price Kensington. I think there's a pate dish, a serving dish, and I thought that was really nice little cottage. And I bought the matching milk jug and sugar bowl, and I think I paid 50p each for those. So I was quite pleased with that. But that's all we spent. It's the least I've ever spent at a car boot. This is a flat back Victorian. Well, I think it's a faux one because they obviously reproduced them later on, and I paid £1 for that. But they still retail for about £25 because they're quite stylistic, and I thought it was quite nice. And for £1, who doesn't want it? Now, if you saw me going around the car boot the other day, this is like the display envelopes I was talking about, but I was going around the car boot the other day and I saw these. Now, this is a lady after my own heart, 1950s, stylised. I think they're called bathing bells. And yeah, I'll call myself a bathing bell then. And yeah, bought those, paid £12 for 5 of them, and they're listed for about £25 per pair. But I think she's lovely. I've already sold a couple of those, but again, I think they're a modern remake. Now, I bought these, paid £5 for this matching milk jug and sugar bowl, and it's got the details on the base, and it's Tudoric pewter and hand hammered. Now, evidently, I didn't know this, a main maker of the day did a deal with Liberties, the store, and sold these hand beaten pewter jugs and sugar bowls. How lovely are those? And they were sold by Liberty. Can you imagine back in the day exactly how much they'd have sold for? They'd have cost you a fortune. Cake stand I paid £4 for, and I've added my Royal Dalton soup bowls because they fit actually quite nicely. But that is an old cake stand, bit like if you go to Betty's. I love Betty's. Ooh, I love Betty's. I don't know whether you've gone to Betty's or not, but Betty's is lovely. And yeah, it's a 3-tier cake stand. I've put the Royal Dalton bowls in that I paid 20p for, 20p each. Royal Dalton. See, this is why, get out to these car boots if you can. If not, maybe try an auction, because you can do those online. Talking about car boots, what else did I get? Well, I got this from the car boot the other day, paid £2 for a part dinner service. This is, I would guess, is the custard jug. And yeah, very art deco, lovely. New Hall Hanley, never heard of that one before. See, they used to have thousands back then. Sadly, I don't think there's many at Staffordshire or Stoke-on-Trent anymore, because I just see Denby is now closed as well. Really, really sad times. But yeah, got that, paid £2 for part dinner service. And if you haven't watched this channel before, I love art deco, hand painted. Oh, that era is just beautiful. I love Georgian as well, but I haven't actually tripped over anything like that yet. Although, if you saw the video where I bought that old ladder, it was about that big, and the lady used to use it for her jams, making her jams, and said her gran had used it. Sold me it for £3. I didn't know what it was, but it just felt amazing. Now, I sold that for over £100, and guess where it's gone? Wow. It is now in Hampton Court Palace. How great is that? Something found in the middle of a field that could have been chopped up for firewood is actually a 1780s, or 1780s, perhaps earlier, cheese making ladder. How fantastic is that? And that is why I love thrifting car boots, because you just find these amazing finds. Going back to Denby, well, if you saw, I was at the auction the other day and I bought 2 boxes of Denby. I didn't plan on buying Denby. I feel bad for them, but they've never really, you know, I just find they're chunky and a bit manny, really. But yeah, I bought 2 boxes of Denby. These are just a couple of pieces. This here is a lidded sugar bowl and everything. I paid £10 plus VAT for 2 boxes. I've already sold 3 bowls for £15 plus postage. So yeah, I am thrifty. Even if I don't particularly like it, I'm still going to buy it, because I know there's always a buyer out there. Now, I haven't brought the lid out with this because the lid is very delicate and the lids are quite rare. This is Mason's Patent Ironstone. How beautiful is that? It's called like a kettle, but it's actually a teapot, and I thought that was absolutely beautiful. Again, very rare. Bought it for £2.50 at the car boot the other day. I wasn't filming that day, so sadly you can't see me buying it, but yeah, that is on, I think, for about £75. Really lovely. Well, this is more of this whiteware. These are the salad plates. These are the actual Coldport ones, as opposed to the Wedgwood. Have I got any Wedgwood? No, I've got all Coldport ones. But yeah, these are little salad plates, and they sell for about £20 each, although I've got 2 on for £50. And we'll see where that takes us. But yeah, each piece owes me, I think, £3, so going to do very well on all that. Beautiful, beautiful serving plate. Built that at the car boot. This is by Cauldron. I thought that was lovely. Beautiful display plate. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. And as I say, they only owe me £1.50. Not going to make mega bucks on that, but I don't want to sell like top end stuff all the time. I like a bit of bread and butter because they're the steady sales. Well, you have to sit and wait for the expensive ones. Talking of Art Deco, ooh, look at that teapot. How beautiful is that? Look at the gardens and it's got a name, and I'll put it up in the ether. Look at that, absolutely stunning. And this is it's called Sundial by Taylor and Kent. Absolutely beautiful, hand painted bits on there. The rest is transferred, but absolutely stunning bit of Art Deco teapot, all in one piece. Paid £1 for that. I think that's on for about 35. But anyway, that's it really. That's it for the first part of it. I am going to have to do a second half because, as I say, I've got so much stuff at the moment. I just couldn't fit it all out. I'd be like Princess and the Pea sat right up there with all the china. And as you can see, it's a roasting beautiful day. What is your favourite? What would you have hit? What would you have missed? And yeah, thank you very much for watching as always. This is first part of your mega haul. We'll have a second part of your mega haul, and on the second part of the mega haul I will answer the questions that you lovely viewers and subscribers have put forward. So thank you for watching. I'll see you at the next one. Goodbye.